I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Good afternoon, this is Dr. Bones Live, and today my guest is Alyssa from Kodacrome. Unfortunately, Ryan is sick, so he couldn't make it, so Alyssa is going to do just as good a job without him. Alyssa, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you on. So, like I was telling you off air, it's been like literally just about a year and a month since we last talked to you, and Perla had just been released, and I really liked the EP, and then over the course of the months, not too long ago, you guys put out a remix for Digital B, and now like the full length album. And when I heard full length album, I was like super excited. I was just couldn't wait to hear it all. And now this one, Aftermath, is a pretty dark title, and the album seems almost a lot darker than Pearl was, because I think we talked about this before, where not Dance Melody, but All the Alma is probably one of the darkest songs on there, but one of the coolest songs, despite that fact.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think because it was a longer album, we felt like we could get away with, not necessarily having every track being a pop hit, for example. And we really experimented with making some space and taking our time, and we had a lot of fun with that. And I guess it went into a dark place.
Well, you know what? It's really cool because the one that I really like in this one, actually, there's two that really stood out to me, is Solitary in Effect and Dripstone.
Oh, really cool. Yeah, those are, essentially B-sides, but, they're very dear to me. And I guess because we were able to take that space and take our time getting where we needed to go and really use the expanse of time to
when I first talked to you, I just so much has gone on, and so I can remember a lot from the first interview as well, where we went from Ryan pretty much handling most of the synths and doing that sort of thing, and with you with your guitar and vocals kind of adding to it. Now it's just expanded that much more, and you can tell there's more depth to it. And like you said, 'cause you took your time this time around, and it sounds just really a lot better. Not that Pearl, kind of stepping my own feet here, but Pearl was a great EP, but Aftermath is really good. I could really enjoy this.
No, thanks, and we appreciate that. We're happy to hear that we're growing in your eyes and just spending a lot more time with each other and our equipment. All of it is sort of melded together, and I think it's good to hear that we've marinated and made progress.
Now, the few questions I did have about lyrics in general, or just the songs in general, did you guys were some of these songs kind of on the back burner, like after Pearl was done, you just took your time to kind of remaster them the way you wanted, or were they just kind of brand new? You guys just worked on them for a few months here and there.
There was a stretch basically from the end of Perla onward where we started writing right away. So some of the songs are a little older, and some of them we made up pretty close to the end. So it's just that period of about a year and a half where we wrote as we went.
That's incredible. Like I said, the songs just stick out to me. And the thing is too, is besides you guys growing as a duo in producing better songs and getting more into it, getting more feedback from it, now over the past year and a bit, you've actually expanded not in just the North American market. I mean, you've gone beyond that into the European market as well, meaning a lot of the European bands that I've interviewed, listened to, that sort of thing, have been commenting and like really enjoy you guys. I'm not sure if any of them got in touch with you to say keep the good work, but there's one guy in particular out of Derry, Ireland, named Grim, just a huge fan of you guys.
Yeah, I've seen him tweet here and there. Hi, Grim, if you're out there. It's great. We love Europe. We've played there a little bit, and we'd love to go back soon. It's just such a great, hospitable place, and I think, great listeners out there, and we get treated so well when we're over there. So it's definitely on our agenda to get back over the pond.
Now, when you guys were over there, where in specific did you play? I mean, I don't need the exact town, but were you in like? Did you just do England, or could you do the circuit? You're not Ireland, Scotland, or?
We started out in Brussels, actually. We used to work with a label called Marathon of Dope, which is based in Brussels in Belgium. And so we started out in Belgium and just kind of went around from there. We were only there for, I think, maybe it was a couple years ago, so it was maybe less than 2 weeks, which was too short. But we did, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know we went to Ghent and we made a trip to Paris, and it was a while ago, but yeah, just it was awesome to see that people who didn't even expect to see us really took the time and took a chance on us and listened very actively.
You know, and that's got to be like really exciting for you guys, especially like in literally a completely different market altogether, and just getting the good feedback. I mean, just especially smaller venues, just because they're more intimate.
Yeah, we were playing, smaller bars there, but I mean, the hospitality was great. I mean, we've seen both ends of the gamut here. We are in New York now, so it's cool here because everybody's, super slick and professional, and everybody knows their brand and this and that, which, it has its ups and downs, but it's also great to, play a small intimate setting, even like doing an acoustic set here and there, just to stretch our boundaries and have a different sort of experience.
Now, have you found with the release of Aftermath, which is officially released about a month ago, 2 months ago, it was like, what, July 27th, I believe, came out?
Yeah, July 29th.
29th, sorry. But 29th, now, have you noticed any difference? Like, have you noticed like more people like listening and more people coming out and saying, what, you guys are really cool just because now you get the full length album, you've been established for a little bit now, or you're getting asked to maybe do more shows around the New York area?
Yeah, definitely. It's great to have a little bit more content out there for Traction. This is our 4th year together as a band, and I think at this point we were kind of working off of that first EP for so long. It was great to just show where we've come since that point, because I feel like we've had a pretty steep learning curve since then, and I'm just so happy to have that out there. But we're at this point already moving on to the next one, and we're excited for that.
Now, how have you found that that both of you, or just yourself, I know Ryan's not here to answer for himself, but how have you felt that you've essentially grown as like musicians and that sort of thing over the past little while?
Well, Ryan is definitely the mastermind when it comes to actually playing with the analog synths and allowing those to inspire us, and also just always wanting to learn about new technology. I have more of a if it's not broke, don't fix it type of an attitude, which can be bad and good. But so he really influences me to try out new technology and learn new equipment and try to be inspired from new synths, and that's definitely a huge leap that I've taken from the beginning. And now I think I'm a lot more part of the discussion about textures and sound sources and this and that. And, in the beginning I was doing most of the songwriting, but he's definitely jumped in more and more over the years to throw in a lead line, and, melodically, I think he's experimented a lot more.
Now, on that note, did you find that just a lot of stuff that you've learned and kind of learned together, have you added, just besides like synth learning, have you added like any more, let's say, different like pedal effects if you're using your guitar live, or just like, not maybe not the flanger pedal because that's commonly used, but you know what I mean? Is there any different one specific that you actually really like using now, or just?
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly changing our live setup, and little by little we're improving it. And we started out using a pretty Ableton-based set, and little by little we are working on collecting analog gear, so that way we're fully analog. We're basically analog now, although we're using the computer as sort of a time clock for us, like a brain to keep all the instruments in sync. But yeah, we've also included a PC Helicon voice live pedal, which allows me to do really cool live vocal effects. We did play with a guitar for a little while, but we've since dropped it. It's just a constant evolution, and the latest piece of gear that we are working on adding now is the Prophet '08 by Dave Smith.
Okay, you know what? I was just curious because like when I was listening to the album, I didn't notice as much guitar, which is fine. But just want to say right now, because essentially because of you and Grim, where I kind of discovered you guys both around the same time, and because of you, you kind of gave me a deeper appreciation for, we'll say, the electronic side to music. Because before, admittedly, I wasn't that into it. I think mainly because I never gave it a chance. Because the stuff you hear in the mainstream, it's just the kind of same stuff over and over again. It's like, it's all right, but it's too boom, 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 and it's like, yeah, you kind of generalize after a while after you hear something like that, right? But because of your two bands, I've expanded my horizons a great deal, and I've gone to more bands along the way, and there's just one band in particular that stands out, and they got a new album coming out on the 26th of this month. There's a band called Analog Wave. Speaking of analog. But
cool.
Another band from Ireland.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm glad to hear we're the gateway here, and I think like you said, there's stuff to sort through. I think a lot of electronic artists, when they're first starting out, are just using prepackaged presets that come with their instruments and not really taking the time to develop the sound, and that really makes a big difference. So, I'm glad you've turned over a new leaf.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that, once I kind of looked more into it and realized what went into it and how much work and how much harder it is than it really sounds. I mean, it's one of those types of music. I mean, you can say anybody can kind of slap a beat together and put something out, but just because they can do that doesn't mean it's anything good. It just means it's probably simplistic because there's so many different programs out there that it makes it easier for you to do. But once I start talking about it and learning about it, the depth to it just kind of blew my mind. It's like, wow, there's a lot more involved than I ever thought before.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get sucked into a black hole.
So yeah, really cool. And
great.
But we're gonna take a quick break here, and we're gonna play pretty much the first single of the track, the first one you sent me. And we're going to take a listen to Buggy Bumper. This is off Kodachrome's brand new album, Aftermath. Dig this. This is Buggy Bumper.